My live setup is now simplified, and I'm going to share it with you. And you're also going to hear some raw tube amp tones in this video recorded direct into my studio here. So you're about to hear that. But real quick, just a backstory on what I'm about to share with you. So the last video I put out, I think it was a couple of days ago, it was really a heavy metal lesson video, I think in the key of D minor. But if you remember, the end of that video, I did a little tone talk, which I do sometimes on my lesson videos. And I kind of just went on this tangent, I kind of just elaborated on how I'm wanting to simplify not only my live setup, but my studio setup, my acoustic live setup, everything. Just simplify everything, get rid of clutter, blah, blah, blah. And again, I just kind of went down this rabbit hole with it. And I mentioned on the video that I might come back and just do a video on the gear, on my experience here and what I'm doing. So here we are. Now, again, you are going to hear some tones in this video coming up. And of course, I'm going to want to see your comments because I want to know what you think about the tones. All right, so real quick, the big change here is just reducing, like greatly reducing my pedal board. So you can look here, you see I only have two pedals now. I've got the MXR Smart Gate, and I've got the digital delay, the Boss digital delay DD7 pedal. Now, real quick on those two pedals, those actually have too many options for me. There's all kind of switches and things you can do with them. I may get rid of those pedals and go to a more simplified noise gate and delay pedal. I don't know, or I may just keep what I have. But anyway, so I didn't have that many pedals to begin with. However, I was on that edge of getting ready to buy more pedals. I'm like, well, I need a reverb, I need this, I need that, maybe a pitch shifter, blah, blah, blah. And it just started going through my head. It's like, wait a minute, this is not the route in life that I am taking right now, or at this point in my life. The thing is, my wife and I, we are getting rid of a lot of clutter. We're trying to declutter our lives. We're trying to get rid of things that we don't need. We're constantly putting stuff out by the road, selling stuff, whatever. And we're even selling our dining room table because we're going to, we're going to use just a smaller, much smaller table because that's kind of where we both do our work. I do a lot of my blogging and marketing, downstairs in the dining room. So anyway, we're just trying to reduce. And I'll kind of get more into that in a second here, but I want you to hear some tones first with this simplified live setup. This is mainly for when I'm playing electric live, like if I'm playing my metal stuff, or sometimes I might sit in with another band or something like that. Now let's hear some tones. So I'm running the pedal board, this real tiny teeny pedal board, through my EVH amp. You guys know I have the 5153, it's the EL34 tube head, 50 watt head, and I'm running this through the 212 cabinet, and of course I've got it mic'd with the Shure SM57. Running it through my studio, my Quantum 2 PreSonus interface, which I may reduce that as well to a smaller interface, and running it through PreSonus Studio One. The first tone I want you to hear is, of course, we're gonna play some metal, but hang around, guys. I'm gonna play some, you're gonna be surprised at what I play after this, but here's what the raw amp sounds like with just the noise gate. So as you can hear, I really don't need anything else for that. And especially if I'm going to be playing with a band or to my backing tracks or whatever, I mean, that distortion, it's perfect. This channel, the red channel that I was playing through just now on the EVH, it does not need a booster at all. So the noise gate, yes, you do need a noise gate, but that's just fine. So what I want to do is I want to click on the delay pedal and play a little bit of solos for you. We'll play a little bit of that, but again, I've got some more exciting sounds and tones coming up for you right after this. Noise gate, delay, red channel, I really don't need anything else. And what this means is on stage, if I'm playing lead, right, if I'm switching from rhythm to lead, all I've really got to do is just click on my delay pedal, and there we are. Now, if I want to boost my volume, because sometimes that can be an issue, what I would probably do is just play through my blue channel, and then I would just have the red channel clicked up, you know, turned up a little bit more. So when I switch from blue channel to red channel, all I've got to do is click the delay. That's 2 clicks there. Almost too many clicks for me, so I might even would just click over to the red channel and play my lead that way and not even worry about delay. Now let's head over to the blue channel. I'm not going to play metal per se on the blue channel, but what I am going to do is play some kind of hard rock and just some edgy rock. I am going to turn my delay pedal on for this, because for this style I just like to have that little bit of delay. I don't even know if you'll notice it though. You may or may not. So anyway, let's play the blue channel, and again I just have the noise gate on and just a hair bit of delay here. Yeah, delay. So that's some pretty cool rock tones, and again, that is the blue channel on the EVH. I've got the gain turned all the way up on that channel, okay? The thing about the blue channel, it doesn't have the fire-breathing gain the red channel has. I'm not trying to make this into an EVH amp review. That's not really what this is about. But what I'll say is, amps that have this type of channel with this type of gain, and even the amps that's what they have, like some of the old Marshalls, Mesas, and so forth, you know, they've got that gain and it's up there, but this amp, you would really have to crank the volume of the amp up to get more gain out of it with this blue channel here. Whereas the red channel, you know, I can get some really nice gain at even lower volume. So I like this amp for that purpose. But anyway, I wanted to share a different type of kind of hard rock, maybe classic heavy metal tone with you using this blue channel. And again, really kind of dry. I mean, I got the noise gate and I got a little delay on there, but there's nothing else. So I want you to hear this next tone. This is where things get a little bit different. This is where you're going to hear some stuff that you probably have never heard me play before, this style anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the channel, the blue channel, on, keep the gain up, not touching the amp settings at all. I'm pretending I'm playing live here, by the way. So if I wanted to go from that really raw, dirty rock tone, hard rock tone, classic heavy metal tone, go from that using the same channel to more of like a bluesy type thing, which I'm about to attempt to play here, I can do that. And I'll show you how, but first, here's the tone. How did I get that tone with no effects, well, the same effects, my noise gate and a little bit of delay? Didn't change anything, right? I didn't change anything on the amp. The gain's still all the way up. So what I did, I just backed my volume off on the guitar. And of course I changed pickups. I used my neck pickup, and that gives you more of that more fat sounding tone there. But yeah, so I would feel confident on stage if I need to dial back without messing with anything on the amp or any pedal board, not having to click anything. And that's kind of what I'm trying to avoid here. I'm trying to focus more on just playing and not having to worry about gear and pedals and stuff, right? So I'm pretty confident that I could just back my volume knob off like this, and go down and get some kind of tone like what you just heard. And if I want to crank it back up and get that rock and roll tone, well, hey, I can do that too. I'll just crank the volume back up, and there we are. Very simple way of changing tones, not having to really touch anything except for the volume knob, but you're not having to touch anything at all on the amp, or no pedals, nothing. So this next tone, actually I got a couple more tones I want you to hear. You're gonna laugh at the last one that you hear. Anyway, so this next tone, let's just play a clean tone. And again, not using anything. I kept my noise gate on, I kept the delay on just for the sake of simplicity, because I want to be able to just switch from this rock or that bluesy to a clean channel without having to press anything else. All I'd really have to do here is just press the button for the channel. Okay, so here's some clean tones from the EVH. Now, one thing I'm kind of missing here, guys, is I'm missing my chorus pedal here. So, you know, that would be really nice to have the chorus. I've got that MXR analog chorus pedal. You guys have seen my review on that. Beautiful pedal, beautiful sound. But again, what I'm trying to do here is avoid having to click so many things while I'm on stage, because oftentimes I'm singing and playing. So if I'm going from, let's say, the blue channel or even the red channel over to the clean channel, well, that's a click. That's a click of the foot that I've got to, you know, do to switch channels. And then if I want some chorus, well, I've got to do one more click now. And I know that sounds petty, not like Tom Petty. I did play a Tom Petty song at my acoustic gig last weekend. I'm going to play it again at my next gig. Learning to Fly. That's what I played. And that's probably my favorite Tom Petty song. All right, one more tone. So we're going to go back to the blue channel here, and not going to tell you what this is going to be. I'm just going to play it for you. You know, I never thought I'd play country music, but I've actually been playing some at my acoustic live gigs that I do. I've been playing some Tim McGraw, some Garth Brooks, Pam Tillis, Kenny Rogers, some old 70s stuff too. Anyway, that's just a side note. But yeah, so that was kind of a gritty country tone. Now, what did I do there? I went back to the blue channel. Didn't touch any of the settings. That was actually with the gain all the way up. All I did was I went back to my bridge pickup here, and I didn't turn the volume as low as what I had it when I had that bluesy style tone. I turned the volume up just a little bit more, and that's something I guess you have to get used to depending on what guitar you're playing, is where those sweet spots are on your volume knob to get certain tones out of using the same settings in your amp, not having to press any pedals or change anything in the middle of the show. So it's just, again, this is all about simplification for me. So yeah, that's what I did. On that note, if you've got an amp that has that type of channel, that I don't want to say a lower gain stage, but it's not like a fire breathing gain. You know, again, if you're going to be cranking the volume up on your amp, you don't have to have the gain all the way up. You could probably turn it up to, like, I don't know, 7, 8, something like that, and just play with a little bit more attack for the heavier stuff. But when you want to back off, just back off of your technique, your playing technique. Just play don't play as aggressive, and mess around with that volume knob, and you can get some really good tones just from that alone, just by the way you approach the guitar and you're playing and using that volume knob. So I'm starting to use that a lot more now. Now, I've actually thought about parting ways with the delay pedal as well, but I do like the delay for clean tones and then some of the bluesy and some of the rock tones as well. For metal though, I would not use the delay pedal, because when you have delay and reverb and you're playing a lot of riffs, well, that can kind of like take away from what you're doing. It can kind of muddy up your sound there, and that's not something you want, obviously. And I would use it for guitar solos, but honestly, I've listened to myself play, like listen to videos and such when I had the delay on, playing with a full mix and all that, and I really couldn't tell that the delay was on anyway. I mean, you can always turn the delay level up, but then when you do that, well, I don't know. It just, do I really need it is the question. Is it really that important? And I don't know that it is, but I do like having delay for the clean tones. I think it adds a little bit to that, and also the other non-metal tones that I was playing as well. So guys, I'd love to know your thoughts. One more quick note I want to make here is I had mentioned on that other video I was talking about earlier, and I'll put it up here. If you didn't see that video, at least watch the lesson. It's a really cool heavy metal lesson in D minor, some pretty cool chops and using some open chords there. But anyway, in the Tone Talk section, I'd mentioned getting the Pod Go, maybe the Pod Go wireless, mainly for my acoustic gigs, because I'm just looking for just a better sound and just not really happy with what I have now. And maybe I'll do another video for that on why I'm switching from the Fishman Tone DEQ and the looper pedal I have to something like the Pod Go. And if I had the Pod Go, honestly, I could just, if I wanted to use that for effects, through the effects loop on my EVH, I could do that as well. So I'm not really sure. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But hey, again, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is kind of a fun video to make. You got to hear some raw tones here. And yeah, let me know what you think. Is simplification, is that your thing? Are you trying to do more with less? Or are you all about having a bunch of effects and pedals to get those different sounds and such? There's no right or wrong answer. Again, this is just my own path, my own thing that I'm doing right now. And guys, you never know. 6 months down the road, I may have like this full pedal board of like 27 pedals. It's not likely that I'll have that, because again, I'm like Leonard Skinner. I'm a simple man. I always use an analogy because it's just funny. All right, guys, leave me your comments. And again, thank you so much for watching my videos and supporting my channel. I hope you like fun stuff like this every now and then. And yeah, until next time, you know what to do. Keep it metal. Of course, we kind of kept it like clean and blues and rock, and we kept it a little country today as well. I'll see you guys on the next video.